Hey, what's going on? It is your boy, Mr. DRE, and welcome to Grown and Throwed Off. Yes, we are back in the building. How y'all feeling out there? Hope that you're having a good day on today. I must admit, man, I'm feeling pretty good, man. I'm feeling like 2018. I'm living my best life. Yeah. Man, I wish they would bring that song back. I ain't gonna even front, man. Lil Duval was really killing it with that song. Living my best life. Y'all remember this song? Hey, but so listen, let's get into it. I know I said on last week, I brought up the story about the kayak that got bit in alligator infested waters and how dumb that was. But it seems like once you expose a dumb thing, other dumb things keep coming up. So so let me just tell you about this. Maybe we just need to come with a segment that says, you did what? But anyway, so this woman, quote, woman tried to take a selfie with a shark and lost both hands. Ladies and gentlemen, do I have to go any further? See, I'm going to tell y'all going to stop playing with nature. Y'all going to stop doing things you know you ain't supposed to be doing. It almost made me want to say, where your daddy at? Where your mama at? Somebody had to tell you, do not play with matches. It's just certain things you learn while you grow up, or you should learn while you grow up. Number one, you should not put things in electrical sockets. Secondly, you shouldn't play with matches. I got a good story about that, but that'd have to be another time. And thirdly, do not play with nature like that. What is wrong with some of these people who keep trying to do things they ain't got no business doing? So this woman tried to take a selfie with a shark and lost both hands. Apparently this happened while this Canadian woman was vacationing in Turks and Caicos. Now, here's the part that gets me. You would think if an adult was going to do this, it would be someone who might be, in their teens or 20-ish, really hadn't experienced life yet and seeing consequences. Maybe don't keep up with the news, things that happen. Well, no. This wasn't some young person. This was a 55-year-old lady who decided it would be a good idea to take a selfie with a shark. She saw the shark. She thought it was interesting. She followed the shark. And they say that the shark was, I believe, 6 feet long. So it's not, it's not Jaws, but it's a shark, people. And while she's trying to capture the selfie, the shark attacked and she lost both hands. I wish I was making this up, but this is an absolute true story. You can also look at Daily Mail. I think it was in the National Post. This is an actual true story. Listen, I'm tired. Well, I can't say I'm tired of reading stories like this because I find this actually kind of amusing. Not saying that I want somebody to be hurt, but I do find it amusing that I keep seeing stories like this. Let me ask you out there in the audience, is there anybody that you know that would do something like this? Maybe they're not the brightest person. They would do something like this. Maybe they just are too adventurous. I don't know. But anyway, got a great show on today. Listen, we have come to that point, the first 100 days of Donald Trump's reign. And listen, there's a lot being said. I want you to go back with me. Let's go in the time machine for just 1 minute. You remember the night of the election. Oh, there was such great celebrations going on. There was so much hope of let's make America great again. And then his reign started. And needless to say, from his reign, those same people that were voting for him, and he won the popular vote. Now, let's just tell the truth. This man won the popular vote just 100 days ago. And now, well, let's just say he's not so popular. As a matter of fact, it has came out that he is the most unpopular president currently in history. I got so much to say about that, and I'm probably going to say a little bit more later in trending news, which is coming up just in a minute. But it is amazing to me how things change. 100 days. Everybody who was so optimistic about what he was going to do, they were on the Trump bandwagon. And I'm just going to put this out there. I believe a lot of people voted for Trump because they could not imagine seeing a sister, yes, a black sister, being president. That's how much some people, not everybody, some people actually thought, I don't know why, but some people actually thought he was the solution. He had the remedy to change, when you can look at his previous presidency term and see that he wasn't all that great. But anyway, not everybody voted against Kamala because she was a black sister, but there was a lot. And if you don't think that's the case, you're naive. But 100 days in, he's not doing too well. 100 days in, our economy is shrinking. 100 days in, they're talking about us going into recession. And guess what? Through all of that, your boy, Mr. DRE, is still living his best life. Why? Because you can never stop a hustler. You heard me? All right. We'll be back right after this. Stay tuned.
They kicked me out the front of the room because I kissed my baby daddy dick. What makes you think I'm not going to kiss my baby daddy dick before he died? What makes you think I'm not going to kiss my baby daddy? I mean, not before he died, but what makes you think I'm not going to kiss my baby daddy dick before he go lay down in the grave? Or whatever going to happen to him? What makes you think I ain't going to kiss that dick so he can remember? Babe, everybody better be happy I ain't pull his pants down and start sucking on that and start choking on that.
Hey, listen. I cannot make this up. I can't make this up. Woman was kicked out of a funeral after kissing a deceased man's, you know what it is. Listen, you can't make this up. And you know what's so sad about this whole situation? It's the fact that she doesn't see anything wrong with what she did. She's sitting there proud. I mean, smiling on this joker. This is where your daddy at. Listen, what happened to decency? What happened to decency? And honestly, what in the world would make? First of all, I don't even know. Oh God, there's so many questions I got. But what would make you want to kiss that man's junk before he? I mean, was it that good, baby? What was it that good? Was he that good to you? I mean, I almost got to say big ups to him, I guess. I mean, you know, for a woman to do that, want to do that when you date. But man, where your daddy at? Forget where them fans at. Where your daddy at? Where your big brother at? That because if that woman had a big brother, ain't no way in this world that going down. Furthermore, I would love to know how her man family felt. I mean, of course they kicked her out, but boy, listen, she wouldn't have made it out alive with some people. That's all I'm saying. But this is just this is the time that we're in. This is the time that we're in. We're in a time where people don't have any more self-respect. People feel like they can just do what they want to do. They don't have any home training, and that's everybody. That's everybody. But since well, I'm not even gonna go there. But that's everybody. Nobody has home training anymore. You don't. I just, oh my God, I can't believe she actually did that and then bragging about it. And then I don't know if I cut it off too early, but she's sitting there saying, "You're lucky I didn't pull it down." So apparently, she just went to his private area and must have kissed, But she talking about straddling the Joker. She talking about actually giving him. Well, we grown and throw it off, giving him head before he go. Boy, listen. Where your daddy at? That's all I got to say. These are the times we're in, people. There's no home training. But then again, hey, look who our president is. Speaking of the president, yeah, it's not looking good. Let me take a moment to collect myself and let's get into this. This comes courtesy of Occupy the Democrats. I just want to read this to you real quick, and then I'm going to play a nice little video for you. So it says 46% of toy companies in the U.S. say they expect to go out of business within weeks. 128,000 federal workers lost their jobs in the last 60 days. 40% of cargo ships leaving China for the U.S. were empty today. Shoes are expected to go up 87% in price. Let that sink in, all you Jordan heads. 87% in price. Apparel is expected to go up 65%. U.S. exports expected to drop 18%. Tourism to the U.S. down 20%. All foreign goods up at least 10% on the U.S. dollar. Now, let us pause for a comment from our man, James Clyburn.
Congratulations to President Donald Trump on completing the first 100 days of your second term in office. Now, I know that being president is a hard job, and that's why I want to highlight some of the most impressive things Trump has accomplished in just 100 days. Number one, America's economy is going wild under Donald Trump. Let's take a look. 69% of Americans believe you're heading into a recession within the next year. People's retirement savings have plummeted. The stock market is headed for its worst 100 days of any presidential term in more than 50 years. Trump's tariff tax is set to cost each household nearly $4,000 a year. And for the first time in over a quarter of a century, a majority of Americans see their financial situations getting worse, not better. Wow. All this in just 100 days. Number two, Trump's DOGE, or Department of Government Efficiency, has really hit the ground running. Let's review. When DOGE was created by Elon Musk, he promised to uncover $2 trillion in waste. Trump and Musk immediately began firing tens of thousands of government workers, canceling government services, and trying to eliminate entire agencies. After all this, let's see where things stand. They have claimed nearly $63 billion in savings. That's 3.1% of what Musk promised. Isn't that amazing? 3.1%. And most of that came from mass firings, which have made the government less efficient, not more. Again, all this in just 100 days. It is truly astonishing. Number three, Trump is making real progress on a major bill, one that will cut taxes for the wealthy, and they're planning on paying for it by gutting Medicaid and adding trillions to our national debt. What a great deal. I'm so glad Trump is fighting for working people, like cutting taxes for himself and his rich friends. All this in just 100 days. Now, on a serious note, I want you to ask yourself.
So listen, I didn't say it. That was James E. Clyburn. The facts that the statistics that he was giving you, that is from NPR, various outlets. These are facts, people. This is not opinion. These are facts. So I want to ask every Trumpite out there, every MAGA supporter out there, do you believe? I said, do you believe that your boy, Mr. Trump, still has your best interests at heart? How can you? How can you? And it's getting bad, people. I mean, even there's so many reports of infighting. Even the billionaires are starting to speak up. He just got into it with Jeff Bezos, which is supposed to be his boy. Just got into it with him. And it's just amazing. It is just amazing. But through all of that, you know what? I'm still not worried. See, I know how to survive. And for those who know how to survive, we not worried. As a matter of fact, most of us are kind of looking at other folk who voted for him. And what are we saying? We tried to tell you. Yeah, we tried to tell you. But hang on in there. And on a serious note, I hope that, you know, he gets it together. Listen, whether you like him or you don't like him, I know this is going to sound real cheesy, but I do have a love for America, and I want to see America do good. And that's, you know, it's not a particular race I want to see do good or age group, rich, poor. I want us to do good because this affects everybody. And if you are a human being out there, you should be taking the same stance. You want America to do good for everybody. Everybody. I'm just saying, you know, that he's not to a good start. So hopefully he'll start listening to people in the know. He won't keep listening to his yes men or keep just doing what he want to do. Take off the king persona and really do what he have to do in all seriousness to make America great again. In other news, let's get into some other news. Listen, did you hear about the young boy who decided to be a big brother to his sister? Yeah, he decided to be a big brother to his sister and decided that he was going to take his little sister to McDonald's. That is so nice, so caring. You know, you know, everybody should want a sibling that is willing to stop what they're doing throughout their day and take them to McDonald's. Here's the problem, though. Her big brother is 7 years old. Yes, 7 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, this young boy out of Utah. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Out of Utah. Here we go. Clearfield, Utah. This 7-year-old boy decided to take his 5-year-old sister to McDonald's as he stole his mother's car while she was sleeping. The mother's name is Whitney Bush. She said she came in, checked on the children. Yes, the children. Checked on the children. Figured out they were okay. And then she woke up to a knock on the door. I wonder who that could be. It was the police saying that her car was missing and so were her 2 kids. So apparently, while she was asleep, her son, grabbed her keys, got his sister, and said, "We're going to McDonald's." And so they got in the car, drove 10 miles, and passed several McDonald's, by the way, but drove 10 miles and End up crashing. No one was hurt, fortunately, but end up crashing, and the police were able to get them and take them home. And apparently, it had been. It went out that there was a car that was doing reckless driving. The police saw it and realized that it was kids in the car, so they kind of played it how they needed to play it, not to spook the child or anything like that, so that the child wouldn't get hurt. So big ups to the police out there. And yeah, all to take them to McDonald's. And what was the mother's response? Now here's where some of us, it just would have went a little different. This Utah mother said, "Oh, he's grounded for life." Now, I'm not going to say black or white, but here's what I'm going to say. If that had been in the South, ain't no grounded. You mean to tell me you took my car and your sister and drove 10 miles and wrecked my car and totaled my car? Oh, you're going to be a little more than grounded. I can promise you that. And you know that saying that say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me? Oh no, ain't gonna be no words. It's gonna be some belt. Oh yeah, absolutely. Ain't no grounder. You might get grounded, but you gonna feel that leather before you get grounded. That's all I'm saying. It's a little different here in the South. Just a little different in the South. In other news, speaking of McDonald's suffers worst U.S. sales decline since 2020. Yes. Now, normally, you're not going to hear about McDonald's having a decline, period. But apparently, this is the worst decline in sales since 2020. Let me see. Who was the president in 2020? Wasn't it? Yeah. But also that was during the pandemic. So what they're saying is, let's see, McDonald's reported its worst quarterly sales for the United States since the height of the pandemic in 2020. The latest restaurant chain to be affected by American turbulent economic environments. Economic uncertainty, people. The burger giant reported U.S. same-store sales fell 3.6%, the largest 3-month drop since quarter 2 of 2020, when they plunged 8.7%. 8.7%. Forecast had been for a decline of just 1.7, but has dropped 3.6. Consumers today are grappling with uncertainty. McDonald's chairman and CEO Chris Kempczynski, well, they got some names here, said in a statement as the chain cited lower guest counts. Listen, yeah, everybody's being affected. I keep telling you, everybody is being affected. But, and I'm not trying, listen, Trump is Trump, but everybody's being affected by what's going on. And I was trying to tell people, even before the election, you got to get out and vote, because if Mr. DJT get back in there, it's going to hit a little different. And, there were a lot of rich people saying, oh, I'll be fine. Oh, he's going to work for us. But when you have someone who has no plan, this is what you end up with. Plus, can we be real for a minute? Has anybody been to McDonald's lately? I mean, you're talking about, what, $10? Now, I'm from the South, so it may be different in other places. But you're talking about $10 for a Big Mac meal. Just a regular Big Mac meal. Unless you got the McDonald's app, where you can get a discount. But just on a general drive up to McDonald's, you're looking at about $10 for a Big Mac meal, and even higher for other combos. And I was reading some of the comments in this article, and one person said something that I totally agree with, and I have the same stance. If I'm paying $10, $12 for a hamburger and fry, I might as well go to a restaurant and eat, because that's what I mean. It's about the same thing. Think about it like this. Now, y'all know I'm a foodie. Y'all know I'm the fat man. You're a lovable fat man, okay? So let's just say, okay, I'm spending for a Big Mac meal. You're looking at $10. If you try to get it upsized, you're looking at another $1 and some change, okay? So, you know, you're looking at a total of about 12 and some change. Let's just put it there. $13, okay? $13 for a hamburger and fry, or a Big Mac and fry, with a large drink. Now, if you're like me, you don't just normally get one sandwich. So you might get the Big Mac meal. Don't do that. Don't do that. I hear y'all judging me. But so you get the Big Mac meal. So if you're like me, you're gonna get a small sandwich beside it. So you're gonna get either a cheeseburger or another double cheeseburger with the Big Mac meal. So now you're looking at $15, $16. Guess what? I can go to the local buffet, you know, and get a buffet for about $17.50 to $20 and have more variety. And I don't have to eat it in my car. And the fries ain't cold. Listen, that's another thing. If I'm going to be paying this much money, can I please get some hot fries? I'm so tired of getting, matter of fact, I'm tired of getting hot fries, and then by the time I get to the light, they cold. We got to find a way to heat that box up, keep that box heated up. That's all I'm saying. Listen, last news report. There's this young lady, and I love this story, okay? Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Time out. Okay, scratch that. I got to give you this story. I need all the grown men to come to the table. I need all grown women to come to the table. Lend me your ears. I want to ask y'all a question. Ladies, if your man did not protect you when you were in danger, what would happen? I'm just curious. How would you view your man after he did not protect you when you were in danger? Fellas, let me ask you a question. We gonna talk today. Oh yeah, y'all gonna talk to me today. You as a man, would you feel comfortable watching your woman be in harm's way and you do nothing? I just need to know. I just want to know, because maybe I'm tripping, but maybe I'm not. So here we go. Rodriguez Jackson, or Jackson Rodriguez. Sound like he got two last names. Anyway, he's an Ecuadorian soccer player. He hid under the bed when kidnappers broke into his home looking for him. When they could not find him, they took his wife, check this out, and his 5-year-old daughter. Took them hostage, demanding $500,000 in ransom. It is said he could not pay it, and then the story does end in a positive light. The Ecuadorian police were able to locate the mother and child and returned them home safely. Yeah. Let that sink in. So let me set the stage now. You have people break into your home. Your wife is home. Your daughter is home. Your 5-year-old daughter is home. And apparently they're looking for you. And what did you do? You decide to hide. Where did you hide? You hid under the bed. Now I know his wife and his daughter did not go quietly. So while they're taking your wife and your 5-year-old daughter, you remain under the bed. You think, the criminals, the people that took them hostage said, okay, you come with me. And she was like, oh, okay, I'm coming. You think the daughter just sat there real quietly, just went on real peaceably, didn't say anything, didn't cry or anything? I'm sure that wasn't the case. So while they're taking his daughter and his wife, this man stayed under the bed. No, he didn't go get his pistol. He didn't, yell stop or give himself up. He stayed under the bed. Ladies, you got back. You made it through the struggle. You made it from the hostage situation. Are you going back home? That's all I'm asking. Are you going back home? How are you looking at this man once you get back home? Are you still loving him like you used to? Fellas, now listen, I don't know too many men. I don't personally know too many men that would have stayed under that bed while their wives, or even they ain't even got to be a wife. My girlfriend and my child is being taken hostage. I don't know no man that I know that would sit under the bed and listen to his child and his wife get taken away. I don't know any. But fellas, are you comfortable seeing them come back? Come back home? Are you comfortable with that? What's up, baby? As a matter of fact, wait a minute. My wife just walked in the room. Y'all welcome my wife for a minute. What's going on, babe?
Hey, it's good. It's good.
Come on, have a seat real quick. Let me. Oh, you busy?
Go ahead.
Okay, real quick question. I think I talked to you. I mentioned this story to you not too long ago. It was about the soccer player who hid under the bed while his wife was being, and his wife and his daughter was being taken away. Babe, if
you're talking about that scary man.
Yeah. So how would you feel if I just, was under the bed because I was scared?
Well, don't you think that wife and that daughter was scared too?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay. Once we are released, ain't no coming back home. Ain't no coming back home. I already know that I have a man that's not going to protect me.
Yeah.
That I'm going to have to fend for myself. So, no, I don't need to go back to that environment.
Okay. See, I thought I was crazy. I thought I was crazy. And so, I'm just saying, I don't know no man that could ever do that. And by the way, now I know somebody going to say I'm wrong for this, but can we be grown and thrown off today? I'm just going to be grown and thrown off right now. If I allowed you to be taken hostage, and I don't even know if they take you hostage, I don't know what they're going to do with you, because that's the other thing we don't know about the story. If I allow you to get taken, you and my daughter, I know this ain't going to sound right, but you got to hear where I'm coming from. I'm almost hoping they kill you. Because the shame that is going to come upon me when you get back to that house, the hell that I am going to have to deal with, oh my God, can you imagine what she is saying to her daughter? Your daddy ain't.
And he's going to get a whooping when I get back
Man,
home.
Listen, now I got to deal with oh my God, I got to deal with your family too. And you, man, listen, the moral of the story is everybody ain't built like that.
The moral of the story is marry a strong man. Know who you marry.
Okay. All right. Hey, listen, we'll be back with today's topic. All right. Stay tuned.
My dad had 10 kids by 6 different women.
Yeah.
You know, Exodus 20 verse 5 talks about how the sins of your forefathers will visit you. Well, I'm telling you, them demons visited me. And I was out shooting craps one night at this illegal place. This young lady was with me. It wasn't her.
No.
One of the gentlemen, he said, hey, man, is your dad Alonzo still? I said, yeah. He said, I remember when he would come in this same room and he would have different females with him. And to me, that was a flex. I'm like, that's what's up. And then this older gentleman, he said, is your grandfather Lil Burn still? I said, it is. He said, I remember when he used to come in this same room and he used to have different women with him. Now, when the gentleman who knew my dad, that was cute. But when the second gentleman said it about my grandfather, I was like, wait a minute. My son, who's 33, he was 3 at the time. And I'm thinking, this is going to go from Lil Burn to Alonzo to Reggie and then Isaiah.
Right.
And so when I left that night with the young lady, normally I would go upstairs and, do what you do. And I dropped her off and kept moving. I drove home scared that night. And see, the Bible says in Romans chapter 7, verse 18, that there dwelleth no good thing in the flesh.
Right.
So in other words, we all have an evil nature.
Absolutely.
Through God's grace that we're trying to manage.
Yes.
Like I said earlier, you could be saved and not delivered. Deliverance is a process.
Absolutely.
And that's why one of the things that have helped me is Isaiah 58:6. It says that when you fast, you loose bands of wickedness and you undo heavy burdens. So my wife will tell you there's been many days where I've had to push my plate back to fight my own personal demons.
That's
Because we
good.
all got them.
All right. We are back. Man, this has been a crazy show. I must admit, this has been a crazy, but a fun show. It really has been a fun show. So, man, we've covered a lot. We've talked about a lot. We've talked about the woman who got kicked at the funeral because she decided that she wanted to kiss her man's thing goodbye one last time. Oh gosh, we talked about, of course we acknowledge what's going on with Trump and the chaos that's happening with that. And man, it's just so many stories that we talked about today, and so many that I really didn't get a chance to get to. But just seeing where we are. The chaos that is happening. And, the story with the young lady that got kicked at the funeral, basically because she was very disrespectful. I wonder sometimes, are we doing enough to prepare the next generation to take over? See, I'm tired of people saying how bad this generation is and how lazy this generation is and how disrespectful this generation is. And, you can say that. And I will admit that is a problem. But what did we do to help the problem? Let me ask you this question. How much did we contribute to the problem? Because guess what? The reason why this generation is where it is, it's not by accident. See, either we didn't take the time to correct bad behavior or to teach them certain things, or we taught them how to be like that through our own actions. Oh yeah. See, a lot of times we don't take accountability for what we did. We always want to point the finger at somebody else. We always want to point the finger at our children. We always want to point the finger at the millennials and the Gen Zers and how bad they are and how bad they're making society. And, it's just a shame how they're running amok and how they're disrespectful and the whole nine. And yes, that can all be true. But where did they get it from? You mean to tell me that all the millennials, all the Gen Zers did all of this on their own? They weren't taught none of this. Everybody tried to help them find their way. Everybody tried to teach them how to be respectful. Everybody taught them all the tools that they need, taught them the history that they need. And they ended up like this. I won't believe it. Like I said, one or two things happen. Either we didn't take time to teach them, or we taught them how to be like this. And quite honestly, well, I think it's a little bit of both. You know, there's a scripture in the Bible, there's a passage in the Bible that talks about this same thing. It's in Judges. Can't remember the chapter right now, but I believe it's in Judges. It talks about the children of Israel. And, you know, anybody who knows anything about the movie 10 Commandments, you can follow me here. Or if you know the Bible, you can follow me here. So in the passage, it talks about the children of Israel, how they came out of Egypt, right? And so the children of Israel comes out of Egypt, and they're heading to the promised land. Well, while on the journey, they had to learn a couple things. Number one, they had to learn how to trust God. That's number one. Secondly, they had to learn how to be independent. They had to learn how to be a nation before they could get to the promised land. So follow me. They had to learn the skills. They had to learn what it was to be an independent nation, so they could be ready when they entered the promised land. And so, you know, if you read the Bible, you know it took them a while. Took them 40 years before they could enter. When the trip was supposed to be, some people say 3 days, some people say 9. We know it wasn't supposed to be 40 years. It was supposed to be a short trip. But it took them 40 years to learn how to be an independent nation before they could enter the promised land. And so here they are. They go into the promised land, the land that flows with milk and honey. And the Bible says, as long as the people who saw the struggle, as long as they were living, the people of Israel obeyed God. But then it says something, and I'm paraphrasing now, but then it says something like this. After the children of Israel died out, that actually saw that period of time where God had sustained them and they actually went into the promised land. After that generation died, there's a generation that came up that knew not the Lord. So the generation that came up don't even know about the Lord who gave them the promised land. Ain't that something? They don't even know about the Lord who gave them the promised land. After that generation died out, the next generation didn't know the story of how they made it. And so when you look at that passage in the Bible, and I encourage everybody to check it out, but when you look at that passage in the Bible, what does it basically tell you? It tells you that it is possible for you to make it, but you don't teach your children how to make it. It's possible for you to be thankful for where you are and your children not be thankful for where they are. Why? Because they don't know the story. See, people trip about that Bible, but if you read it enough, you'll get some life lessons out of there. And so when I look around, I'm looking at people, I'm looking at my grandmother who made it. Man, she made it. She came from, a time where black people didn't have rights. She came from a time where she was cleaning the white man's house. She came from a time, when things wasn't always right. And she's living today at 95. And so she sees where we are now. And she has, I promise you, she has passed that knowledge down to me. She talks to me all the time about how they didn't have rights back then and how things were back then and how she had to save and how her and my grandfather, they saved to build the family house. He built it with his own hands. He said he would not be denied. He wanted to give his children a better future. He wanted to give his children and his wife a place to stay. He built it with his hands. She passed that knowledge down to me. My grandfather passed that knowledge down to me. My grandfather was one of those people that would get the neighborhood kids and show them how to build little things, how to fix this, how to fix that. He put that into us. He put that into those who wanted to listen, to those that wanted to learn. My mother showed me, not just in words, she showed me what it was going to take to make it, how to have a strong work ethic. My father didn't just tell me to do this and tell me to do that. He showed me what to do through his actions. He showed me through his actions, not just words. And yet he still talked to me. But those words are much more impactful when you're actually shown it live as well, if you understand what I'm saying. And so here we are. As I said, I'm just wondering if we're showing this next generation how to make it. Because we're good at criticizing them. But is anybody taking the time to show them? We can't just be about words no more. People are just tired. This generation are tired of people just talking. They want to see some action. Shoot, I'm tired of people just talking. I want you to show me what you're talking about. Live the life that you want me to live. You want me to respect people? Then you show somebody respect. You want this generation to respect people? Show them respect. You show some respect. You want this generation to have a better work ethic? Stop being so lazy? Guess what? Show them. And until we show them, until we put some actions behind our words, how can we criticize them? How can we be mad if they're not ready to take over? I heard somewhere, and forgive me because I can't remember exactly where it came from, but someone was doing an interview and they said something to this fact. They said, and I believe they were talking about the black community. I can't remember exactly, but it went something like this. They said this generation would be the first generation that's not left off better than the previous. That's damning. The fact that the generation now will not be well off as the previous generation. Why? Because we didn't teach them. Why? Because we didn't prepare them. And it's not just black people. It's this generation. I want to really emphasize that, because it's not a black problem. It's this generation. But again, how can you criticize them? How can you say, okay, now take it over? How can you pass a baton to them and you never train them? Whether you're a Republican or Democrat, you got to look at our leadership and say, is this what we want our leaders in the future to be like? I'm all about redemption. And I'm not even focused on, because I'm not focused on Trump's past. Okay, forget about the felonies that he's convicted of. You can say that's in the past. Cool, I got it. Everybody deserves a second chance. You know, he's had many chances. But if you want to say everybody deserves a second chance, got it. But what is he doing now? Look at our authority figures and tell me why someone should respect them. Look at our authority figures and tell me why we should be excited about the future of our people. That's why I'm saying there's a call. There's a call for us to teach them, teach the next generation. We got to prepare the next generation to take over. What we are teaching them right now, if I had to just do a snapshot of what we're teaching them right now, we're teaching them to be bullies. We're teaching them to either be bullies or live in fear. We're teaching them to be lawless. Don't worry about the law. You do your own thing. That's what it looks like we're teaching them. We're not teaching them how to be diplomatic. Just based on some of the things that we are now passing, we're teaching them not to dream anymore. You know, doesn't matter what you say, what you think, what ideas you have. It don't matter as long as I say it don't matter. You want to know why the I Have a Dream speech is so iconic? Because it didn't just address popular to, you know, it didn't just address black people. It addressed all people. It's bigger than any race. This moment is bigger than any race. If we want a better future, we got to teach them now. We got to prepare them now. Because I don't think we're doing a good job preparing them. But let me leave you with this. How many of y'all remember the Holocaust? Everybody remembers hearing about the Holocaust. How tragic it was. I will go out on the limb and say we will probably never see that again. Why? Because the Holocaust meant something to the Jews that went through it. It was something that was ingrained in them, and they made sure they told their children, and their children told their children. I can promise you, you ain't got to ever see it in a book again, but the Jews know. And anytime, have you ever noticed anytime someone even comes close to disrespecting the Holocaust or anything, disrespecting it, or even looks like they may try it again, it gets shut down real quick. The leaders get together and say, oh, no, you won't. Because they're going to make sure it doesn't happen again. Are we preparing this generation to take over? Have we given them the skills? Have we given them the history to make sure that they are successful? I hope you understood where I was coming from on today. Hey, listen, this is Mr. DRE for Grown and Throwed Off. Thank you for joining me on today. We'll be back real soon, all right? Y'all have a good one.